Welcome. We're coming to you from the road today, post-race, following White Lake, North Carolina, half Ironman. Me and my smoking hot now fiance heading back, and I'm not asleep. I wasn't asleep when she took the picture she posted on Facebook. I was meditating, with my sunglasses on, but she falsely represented the fact that I was asleep. Couple of real quick apology. Again, we meant to film last night, me and Phil and John Higgins, post-race yesterday, but we took a nap, rested, we laid on the beach at White Lake. Beautiful town. Shout out to those people. Felt like we were in the late 70s version of the first Jaws movie. That town's definitely set back in time. Real pretty town, so go see it for a vacation, or doing the race next year. But we watched the UFC on Fox last night, and then we were all asleep. My bad. We'll try to do better at that. These long races where we're tired, it's just hard to throw an iPod on somebody or an iPad after they're tired. Big shout out to Adam Raines for finishing today at the Rev 3 half Ironman in Knoxville. Jason Fennell doing the 100-mile three-state three-mountain ride yesterday. He's going to be a big factor in our atomic race next weekend, 30-hour adventure race. Forgot to mention Zach Ballard last week doing the Big Frog 65 and finishing top 30, and I think finishing in the top 3 in his age group. But today, let's do a real quick recap from what happened yesterday. Phil Mansueto, White Goodman Mansueto. If you don't know White Goodman, Google it. It'll look Ben Stiller's character off Dodgeball. That's what we call him. He finished just inside the top 100 with a 5:20. Had a real good swim. He, like myself, blew up on the bike, the first half of the bike, and then he finished with a laboring run like we all did. The heat got up to well over 90, which was unexpected, but he still finished with the top 100 out of 800 people. John Higgins, the Rocket, as we call him, he finished with a top 30 finish, just under 5 hours. And he definitely lived up to his name and gave us a lot of advice and a lot of support, and he did really well. I came in with a top 200 finish, well inside the top 200 with a 5:44. A better swim than I thought. It was 3 minutes faster on the swim than what I projected. Slow in the transitions, but I wasn't trying to kill it. And then first 25 miles on the bike were probably the best 25 miles I've ever ridden unsupported. Went through 28 miles and made the turn to head back toward White Lake at 28 miles, averaging over 23 and a half miles an hour, which was fast. I was real pleased with that. And then the headwind hit us. Went through 40 miles at about 22 miles an hour average. Went through 50 miles. Struggled between 40 and 50 miles, and still had over a 20-mile-hour average at the end, and finished with about a 20.5-mile average, which is okay, but it was real aggravating and discouraging with the heat. It wasn't really the heat at that point, it was just the headwind. Still finished with over 20-mile-an-hour bike, 25-mile-an-hour bike average, which is what I wanted to do, but I'd averaged so fast earlier that I was still disappointed with it, expecting more out of myself. Transition to the run. First 5K, 10K was pretty good. I saw Phil at about mile 6, which means he'd have been about mile 8. He was probably 10, 20 minutes ahead of me, 2 miles ahead of me. And I knew he was hurting, and so I tried to take off and catch him, and I think I was making some ground on him. And then the heat got me, and the wheels fell off for me between miles 9, 10, and 11. At that point, I was just trying to finish. And finished respectably, never stopped, never thought about quitting, but a couple of walk sessions there just to get my legs back underneath me. And at that point, from 11 to the finish, it was just at that point trying to finish, trying to conserve, trying to have some legs left and finish strong. I was real discouraged with my time at first, and then I was talking to a lot of people, and they said that this was the hottest race they'd been a part of. The bike, even though it's flat, is real deceptive because there's always a headwind. but I felt like I did the best I could, especially with the schedule I've had leading up to this week and the 2 weeks I have coming up. But a little disappointing. Travis Beam, he hooked me up. Hold on, we got a phone call coming in from one of my fans. You go ahead and take it.
Hello.
Okay, just get back to me on the questions because we're running long. He hooked me up with some Live It Extreme gear, and I'm real pleased that I was part of that team, and that's why I'm wearing my Outsiders NWO shirt, because I was the outsider on Live It Extreme. I don't have the triathlon base that he wants us to have, but I'm gonna bring it in strong next week and branch out his Live It Extreme brand with the adventure racing market, and we're gonna crush the Atomic next week and get him some exposure there. But all in all, I was glad I did it. It was a good weekend. Stay tuned for Monday's message. And, we got Jason Fennell calling in with some questions now, so I'm going to let you guys go and talk to him.
It was like 9.
Until next time.